Big Ten all-time scoring record. She's the leading Division I women's career scorer. She, of course, holds all Iowa records. I mean, the list goes on. It's the same thing watching The View. It's the same thing that Jemele Hill said, saying that Caitlin Clark is problematic. All Caitlin Clark has done is sold out arenas, set TV viewership records. She's brought millions of new eyes to women's collegiate basketball and now on to the WNBA. So saying she is problematic, I mean, to me, it sounds like she's the problem solver. And speaking to Jemele Hill.
So the saga that won't end. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So
Riley Gaines just snatched a mic, a megaphone, and maybe a flamethrower, channeling full WWE energy as she lit into Angel Reese while hyping Caitlin Clark like she's Steph Curry in a ponytail. Is this the unexpected sports crossover episode we didn't ask for, but 100% needed? What's a swimmer doing in the middle of a basketball feud? And why is Twitter popping off like a lidless popcorn machine? Buckle up. This drama's got more twists than a pretzel in a hurricane.
Progressive and liberals who have said for so long, why won't anyone watch the WNBA? Say, well, she's just pretty tall and white. That's what this is. To be very clear, Caitlin Clark has gotten the coverage that she has gotten because she's amazing. She's a phenom. The Big Ten all-time scoring record. She's the leading Division I women's career scorer. She holds all Iowa records. I mean, the list goes on. The fact that she is straight, white, tall, or pretty. Might I just add, I think anyone's pretty next to someone like Brittany Griner. This is what the viewers want to see is Caitlin Clark.
Yes, the perfect storm of sports sass and social media mayhem. If drama were a sport, Angel Reese would be the undisputed MVP, most vocal personality. And Riley Gaines? She's not just the whistleblower. She's the referee, the rulebook, and the replay booth all rolled into one. Who would have guessed a retired swimmer could cannonball into basketball beef and make more noise than an NBA arena packed with vuvuzelas?
Riley Gaines made a good point. You got Caitlin Clark with all of these stats. Everybody knows that Caitlin Clark is bringing eyeballs to the WNBA. If she was at the All-Star game would have 10 times the views because everybody want to see how Caitlin Clark performs. You guys have a cash cow, and it's irresponsible to put one of the best players in the league.
Let's start with Angel Reese, because really, where else could we? She's the undisputed queen of trash talk, high-fiving herself after every blink and treating every hair flip like it deserves its own press conference. Post-game interviews? More like solo stage performances. And Twitter? That's just her personal diary of daily slights. It might look like she's leading a movement, but half the time, it's just about who gave her the wrong side-eye at breakfast.
I don't know who need to hear this, but Angel Reese gotta be the worst basketball player. She's the worst basketball player. Like, y'all guys don't understand this? Simon only made 2 points with 12 rebounds. She missed a couple of shots and she missed a rebound. She only made 12 rebounds. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 12 rebounds. And she missed like 4 layups like this. I don't know, I'm shocked. But this is nasty work for her. Bro, if she keeps playing like this, guess what? She is not winning any game.
Every game is a one-woman stage play starring Angel Reese as the misunderstood heroine, the villain, the coach, and the entire audience simultaneously. She's got more poses than a Fashion Week runway and more comebacks than your favorite soap opera villain. And if you think it's just about basketball, oh honey, it's never just about the game. It's about the narrative, the spotlight, the micro-dramas and mega meltdowns that trail her like glitter at a kindergarten birthday party, impossible to ignore, and everywhere at once.
Medal, and the rest of the team, they had 7 practices while Caitlin was still playing with the WNBA. So, does this make the decision fair?
Yeah, to your point, the USA basketball chair, the governing board there, their job is to win. It's not about popularity, as it shouldn't be. So let's look at the facts here. Caitlin Clark was the #1 overall draft pick this year. She holds many Big Ten, NCAA records for collegiate women's basketball.
Just when Angel Reese thinks she's headlining the drama, boom. In swan dives, Riley Gaines with the grace of a ballerina and the impact of a wrecking ball. She's not even in the same sport, yet she's hijacked the whole narrative like it's a group project, and she's the only one who read the syllabus. Riley's not playing defense or offense. She's rewriting the playbook, sipping tea, and live tweeting about fairness like she's chairing the Olympic Committee for outrage. Her entrance didn't just add fuel to the fire, it dumped a tanker of jet fuel onto the glowing embers of basketball ego. And the kicker? She doesn't even need to dribble. She just says the quiet part out loud, drops the mic, and lets the internet implode into another think piece apocalypse. Meanwhile, Angel's scrambling to keep up, throwing shade like confetti, and acting like Riley just snatched her VIP parking spot at the Fame Mall. This isn't just a feud, it's a full-on branding war. Angel, the storm cloud of emotion, Instagram filters, and raw energy. Riley, the manicured tornado of unapologetic takes and varsity-level clapbacks. One thrives in chaos, the other feeds off controversy. Together they've birthed a bizarre multiverse where swimming and basketball collide on the same court. And no one remembered to wear the right shoes player that deserves. She deserves all the attention she's getting because she's doing something nobody else in women's sports is doing. Nobody can capture the attention, like Caitlin Clark can capture the attention of the human brain. When I'm watching Caitlin Clark in the shot she's hitting, I'm just like, what the heck? I just have to kind of like stand up and just lock in like, what am I seeing from this woman? And yeah, man, I could talk about it all day, but let's go ahead and break down this game, man. And still through it all, Caitlin Clark's just draining threes and casually making everyone else's drama look like background noise at her highlight reel premiere. Somehow, Caitlin Clark's success became Angel's personal villain origin story. Every three-pointer Clark sinks seems to unlock another level of resentment from Ree, like she's playing a video game called Insecurity Quest, the Iowa Chronicles. Clark could hit a shot from the moon and Angel would still take it as a personal attack. No, Angel. She's not throwing shade, she's just hitting buckets. Enter Riley Gaines. Remember her, the swimmer who got so fed up with losing to biological males that she turned her entire post-athletic career into a full-time TED Talk about fairness in sports. Riley has become the one-woman searchlight for anything she deems unjust in the athletic world. And when she caught wind of the Reese versus Clark melodrama, you could practically hear her cracking her knuckles across state lines. Riley Gaines didn't just walk into the conversation. She stage dived in with the energy of someone who's been waiting months to say, I told you so. Holy mother of God, somebody stop Angel Reese. She is single-handedly the worst basketball player in history. If you don't go to take your little beau wild like Mike first, 20 minutes of the movie ass, the up out of here ain't nobody trying to see. That it was one part of the game where the travel so much you would have thought she was Moses. Walking on water gets all the way to the basket and still missed the layup. Somebody give Reese a goddamn Fisher-Price basket. You would have thought Captain Jack Sparrow was out there playing basketball. No. Let me tell you what happened. See, she realized she makes more money on Instagram and all these endorsements in the last 8 months she been who your mama. Her support for Caitlin Clark wasn't just loud, it was a Broadway performance. She basically rolled out a red carpet, threw a ticker tape parade, and crowned Clark the patron saint of competitive integrity. If Riley had her way, there would be a monument to Caitlin Clark, next to the Lincoln Memorial with Reese stuck holding the plaque saying, "Thanks for participating." Of course, Angel didn't take that lightly because Angel never takes anything lightly. Not a compliment, not a handshake, not even oxygen. The moment Riley piped up, Angel activated her drama thrusters and launched herself into orbit. Suddenly, we weren't even talking about basketball. We were talking about disrespect and narratives and whatever buzzwords her PR team could cram into a 280-character tweet. But let's be honest, the real problem here isn't Caitlin Clark, and it certainly isn't Riley Gaines. The issue is that Angel Reese has mistaken criticism for a personal attack and attention for validation. Every time someone questions her behavior, she acts like they've insulted her grandmother and burned down her childhood home. It's not analysis, it's war. And when Riley Gaines stepped up to support Clark, Reese responded like she'd been personally exiled from the kingdom of TikTok. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is just out here hooping. She's not subtweeting. She's not crying on podcasts. Andrew Reese did a slight push on the defender, grabbed the rebound. Caitlin Clark, foul injuries fail, and it turned into a whole thing. SportsCenter posted that clip, and I just want to show you all some of the top comments on that video. She wasn't even going to make the layup. Barely touched her. Reese has been working with LeBron's team during the offseason. She was going to miss that layup anyway. Is he going to ignore Reese pushing someone in their back man up? Good job, Caitlin. Good take, foul. What a flop, Angel Reese acting like she was going to make the layup. Notice Reese pushes Clark's teammate first in her back. Clark sees it and returns the favor. Reese then plays victim. Angel Reese's hate button, 7,000 plus likes. If y'all go through the comments, they're all saying damn near the same thing. So after reading those comments, I'm like, damn. Is Andrew Reese the most hated WNBA player? And what even got us to this point, and I know about all the past stuff that Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese went through, but she's just dropping buckets and breaking ankles like it's a full-time job. And Riley Gaines saw that and went, yep, this is what real sportsmanship looks like. The irony, Angel Reese wants respect so badly, but she treats the game like it's a stand-up set and she's bombing every punchline. Trash talk is fun until it turns into a personality trait. At some point, fans stop seeing you as confident and start seeing you as exhausting. And Riley Gaines was just the first person with a platform big enough to say it out loud. Of course, that didn't stop Angel from doubling down. Oh no. If Angel Reese were in a hole, she'd bring a jackhammer and a backhoe just to make sure she hits the earth's core. Every time someone criticizes her antics, she responds by doing a TikTok dance and calling it empowerment. Sure, Angel, and I'm the Pope of Dunkin' Donuts. Riley, on the other hand, took the high road with the subtlety of a freight train. She gave Clark the kind of glowing praise that would make a Disney princess blush, and followed it up by reminding everyone that sports are supposed to be about discipline, effort, and actually playing the game. Not turning it into a one-woman reality show called Keeping Up with Angel. And really, what did Angel expect that Riley Gaines, the self-proclaimed referee of sports ethics, would see her social media theatrics and applaud the Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky? And folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dogfight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout, and it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. It was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force. We got to see the new and improved Caitlin Clark. I can't wait to break down the film in this video for you guys. Man, she looked amazing. She had a triple-double, a 20-point triple-double. She shot it nearly 50% from the field. She shot it at 50% from the three. Y'all. She had 4 blocks. The defense was there. The defense was there. Riley's allergic to performative nonsense. If there were a vaccine for clout chasing, Riley would be the clinical trial. She sees Caitlin Clark dropping 30 points without drama and thinks, finally someone who acts like a professional. But here's the kicker. The more Angel re-rants, the more she validates everything Riley and her supporters are saying. It's like trying to prove you're calm by yelling, "I'm calm," at the top of your lungs. Every time Angel stomps her feet, she just digs the narrative hole deeper. By now she's somewhere between self-parody and motivational poster for emotional immaturity. Meanwhile, Clark just keeps playing. No theatrics. No interviews where she cries about being misunderstood. No TikToks where she does the chicken dance while yelling, "They don't respect me." She just scores and wins and goes home, and that drives Angel absolutely insane because deep down she knows that's the kind of respect you can't scream your way into. But the real tragedy here, Angel could be great. She really could. She has talent, athleticism, and a platform most players would sell their shoelaces for. But instead of rising to the occasion, she trips over her own ego. She's so busy trying to be iconic that she forgot to be effective, and Riley Gaines saw it coming from 10 miles away. Gaines, she's obviously a beautiful young lady, both outside, inside. I've talked to her several times. She's fighting a good fight. She will go down in history as one of those women that have made an incredible difference in this country. Especially surrounding the issues of protecting women in sport. Women in sports. Now Fox News. What are y'all doing, bro? Is this an affirmative action hire? Is this woman an affirmative action hire? I have never seen her on Fox News a day in my life. And why do you have somebody so ignorant on your television station at this point? Riley's probably got a scoreboard in her living room. Caitlin Clark 1, Sirza 0 points. Angel Reese 1,000 excuses. And every time Angel logs on to complain, Riley just adds another tally under told you. So, the funniest part, Riley didn't even go out of her way to pick this fight. Angel Reese practically mailed her a gilded invitation. Because make no mistake, Angel Reese isn't selling basketball, she's selling herself. Every game is an audition, every interview is a campaign ad, and every tweet is a Hail Mary for relevance. And it might have worked too, if not for athletes like Caitlin Clark, and voices like Riley Gaines reminding the world that talent speaks louder than tantrums. So here we are, Angel's off in a corner yelling about respect while ignoring the scoreboard. Riley somewhere sipping a protein shake and writing her next open letter to sanity. And
individually, but just as a unit, but she just doesn't have space to operate in the paint where she can really put a dominant, performance on the offensive end in terms of scoring. Again, we all know she's an amazing rebounder, but her ability to score is so poor right now. And I don't know how I feel about that. I watched her try to be the facilitator, and I kind of like her in the facilitator role, but not to the point where she's trying to direct traffic to get a post-up for Camila Cardoso when she's guarded by her matchup. I can understand that if she's guarded by a smaller player, a wing, a guard. I can understand her trying to direct traffic to get that matchup to happen. But in terms of trying to be like Steve Nash and Ben and Slew, it's I don't know how I feel about that.
Kane Clark, she's already halfway through another highlight reel. If you're going to pick a fight with Riley Gaines, maybe don't do it while Clark is busy setting fire to the nets. Because no matter how loud you shout, it's hard to drown out the sound of someone else winning her, and not necessarily be individually, but just as a unit. But she just doesn't have space to operate in the paint, where she can really put a dominant-like performance on the offensive end in terms of scoring. Again, we all know she's an amazing rebounder, but her ability to score is so poor right now, and I don't know how I feel about that. I watched her try to be the facilitator, and I kind of like her in the facilitator role, but not to the point where she's trying to direct traffic to get a post-up for Camila Cardoso. When she's guarded by her matchup, I can understand that if she's guarded by a smaller player, a wing, a guard, I can understand her trying to direct traffic to get that matchup to happen, but in terms of trying to be like Steve Nash and Van and Slew, it's I don't know how I feel about that. And for Angel Reese, that might be the loudest silence of all. Because the moment Caitlin Clark steps onto a court, ESPN executives suddenly remember how to smile again. Ratings shoot up faster than Angel Reese's eyebrow when someone dares to mention humility. We're talking Super Bowl level numbers for women's college basketball networks. Start airing reruns of Antique Roadshow just to fill the void. Suddenly Angel Reese is out here dropping a double-double in front of 300 people and 2 confused pigeons, and one of them's on their phone. But here's the kicker. Reese still thinks she's the main attraction, still walking into press conferences like she's Beyoncé returning from a world tour, when in reality, Caitlin's over there racking up more viewers than a Netflix premiere. Who's the best player in the country to the media? Or, me as you see it, I feel like I'm the best player in the country. Okay? Who's the second best player in the country? Either Caitlin Clark or Leah Boston. Top those top 3, I feel like we, the top 3 players. That's the thing I love. You spoke on that you respect the hell out of Caitlin. Yeah, I respect them. Yeah, for sure. Me and Caitlin been playing against each other since high school. We've been going at it. So it's no hard blood between me and her. She's a great competitor. She's a great player. Angels posting thirst traps and hashtags while casually breaking attendance records in corn-fed gymnasiums with concrete bleachers. It's like watching someone insist they're the star of a movie where the actual star hasn't just stolen the show. They are the show, the theater, and the popcorn machine combined. Reese is out here doing the basketball equivalent of power walking in stilettos, while Clark is skywalking like she got bit by a radioactive Larry Bird, and no shade. Angel's got game. Sponsors aren't fighting over Angel's stat lines. They're fighting over Caitlyn's next commercial break. So of course Reese is fuming. Caitlyn sneezes and gets trending hashtags. Angel dunks and gets a technical. Life's unfair, sure, but sports are crueler than your aunt's cooking on Thanksgiving. And Caitlyn's dominance is the spicy stuffing nobody saw coming. So this video is about Angel Reese, and it's like I'm trying to, when I get the opportunity, to watch Angel Reese. I'm always, the word isn't disappointed, but it's like, I don't understand her game in terms of how she's going to impact winning on a championship team outside of rebounding. I think we can all agree. She's an amazing rebounder. That doesn't need to be discussed. That's a fact, right? But in terms of her other pieces that contribute to winning, in terms of like, in need of scoring, it seems like she really struggles at doing so. And I want to say it's because the team is so bad in terms of the surrounding pieces around her. Yet somehow Reese keeps strutting like the cameras follow her out of pure gravitational pull. Newsflash, they're not. They're magnetized by Clark's every step, every flick of the wrist, every moment. She turns a routine possession into a viral highlight. Reese may think she's shining, but the spotlight's got a GPS and it's tracking Caitlyn like she's the last fry in the McDonald's bag. Because without Caitlyn Clark, women's basketball is still good. But with her, it's prime time. Can't miss popcorn popping greatness. And no matter how many chains Angel Reese wears, she can't chain up the fact that Caitlyn's the engine, the showstopper, and the very reason half of America even knows what time tip-off is.